Welcome to Money, Manifestation, and Business, the podcast that shows you how to use your energy, intention, and consciousness to reprogram your money mindset, unleash a new level of possibility, and create a life and business that lights you up. I'm your host, Jamie Berman, and I invite you to join me each week for a dose of inspiration, coaching, and teachings to help you rewrite your money story, create abundance on your terms, and grow your business in a way that's fully aligned for you. This is going to be so much fun. Let's dive in. Hi, love. So today, I'm so excited to talk about some manifestation myths. And I actually want to talk about the number one manifestation misconception that I hear that I just think so many people just really don't understand what manifestation is and what it takes to manifest. So we're going to totally clear that up today. Cannot wait. But first, I thought it would be fun to share a little insight into what I've got going on, what's going on behind the scenes. And I typically don't share a lot about this because I tend to record podcast episodes far in advance. So I always think, well, by the time this comes out, it's going to be over with. But I don't actually care anymore because I was thinking about it and I'm like, I love podcasts and I love connecting with the podcaster. I love hearing what's up with their life. What do they do? What do they have going on? So I thought I'd share a little bit of insight into my world lately. So the first thing that I've got going on is I have been planning the abundance retreat, putting all the pieces together, deciding what I'm so excited to teach and offer and bring into that retreat, which is happening in September. And in fact, you can still get into that retreat. That's something that we are still enrolling in. So if you are interested, definitely sign up. I have found just in the past year, since I've started running retreats, that it is absolutely one of my zone of geniuses. It's one of my favorite things to do is to host them. That teaching and coaching just lights up my soul. It lights up my spirit. And these retreats are just so transformational. My clients who come to them say, I feel like I've gotten about 6 months of coaching or 6 months of therapy in like 2 days. They're just super potent. We go deep and there's a lot of intention that I bring into the retreats. I think about them a lot beforehand and I really plan everything out in terms of what do I want this experience to be like, to feel like? What's the transformation that I want to offer? And the next one that's coming up is a transformation around money and around abundance and wealth. And really realizing that you can have it all. That if you have wealth, it doesn't mean it has to be while sacrificing something else in your life, while sacrificing your values, right? The work that we're going to be doing at this retreat is all around how can I have my personal time? How can I live out my values and live out my dream life and have money? And how do we put those pieces together? So I am so thrilled about that. I've been really thinking about it a lot and I would love to invite you to come. So yeah, to come, you can actually go to the show notes. I'll put the link in there so that you can find out more about it, but it's going to be so good. The other thing I'm very excited about is that I'm going to Maui for most of June and I'm so ready. I'm ready for that sun. Not that I don't get my sun in LA, but it's a different kind of energy. It's a different feeling. When I get on the island, I feel at home. So I'm going to my condo for a couple weeks. We're going to be renovating the kitchen and I'm going to unplug for a while. I'm going to do a little bit of work there. And it's really just so fun to look forward to that and really be able to live out that dream that I have manifested, which is having my place there and being able to go there a couple times a year and just soak in the beautiful energy that that island has to offer. So I'm getting very excited for all of that. But today, like I said, we're going to dive into manifestation myths Okay. Because I really want to support you all in manifesting and understanding what manifestation actually is, how to do it, how to implement it. And the truth is, all of us are always manifesting all of the time, right? Manifestation is another word for creation, for creating. All of us are creating all of the time. We're creating the things in our lives that we have, right? And I think for some reason, this word manifestation sometimes trips people up because they think it's like some woo-woo thing that they're not already doing and they have to learn how to do. But what I teach people how to do, since we are all always manifesting, is I teach you how to do it intentionally, consciously, so that if you're replacing the word manifestation with creation, it's so that you're creating your life on purpose. You're creating what it is you most want and intending that into the world. You're getting much more intentional about your manifesting and your creations versus when we're not intentional, we just manifest at the effect of our primitive brain, right? So what I wanted to talk about is this misconception that I hear all the time. And the reason that I thought about this topic is because I saw a reel by someone that I really like and look up to. And they said something like, oh, I don't manifest, right? I'm not into manifestation. That's not really a thing. I don't manifest. And I'm like, wait a minute. What do you think manifestation is if you think you don't manifest? Because we're all manifesting all the time. It's just, are you doing it intentionally? And as I heard that, they continued on to say, I don't manifest because manifestation is just sitting on your couch believing, right? And they said, I take action. And I'm like, oh, so they are holding this misconception that manifestation is just sitting on your couch believing. And I understand where this comes from. And so many other people I have heard have said the same thing, like manifestation is just visualizing. It's this woo-woo thing. And I'm like, no. And like, I understand where it comes from, right? If you only watched The Secret and that's your only insight into what manifestation is, maybe that's what you think. But the movie The Secret is only about one universal law that has to do with manifestation. That movie is all about law of attraction. Now, this is one of many, many universal laws that all work together in terms of manifesting, right? So law of attraction is basically saying like attracts like. Energy attracts energy, right? And you probably notice this when you are in good spirits or in a good energy. Do you notice how you attract interesting and good things into your life, right? Where you go in a good mood and it seems like, oh, you feel that and someone else is in a good mood and maybe you get a free dessert or something like that, right? You're like manifesting all of these things because energy attracts energy. And if you're in like a crappy mood, right? And you're just feel awful, it's doom and gloom. Do you ever notice how it's sometimes like, oh my gosh, it's one of those days where nothing's going right? It's like, not only do I feel terrible, but now I stubbed my toe. Oh my gosh, now I'm running late for this thing. This person's canceling, right? It just feels like one of those days where your energy is just low and you just feel like you keep attracting those things, right? So that's kind of the gist of what law of attraction is. And in The Secret, they talk about it in terms of, yes, when you visualize and when you believe in something, it raises your vibration. It raises your energetic set point. So therefore, you tend to take action from that place. And that's why I love visualization. That's why I love belief work. And belief is not only a big piece of manifestation, it's a crucial piece of manifesting. You cannot manifest without taking action. And I always say taking inspired and courageous action. And like I said, if you watch The Secret, which was primarily about law of attraction, taking action is another universal law. There's another universal law called the law of action, or you might have also heard about it as the law of karma or the law of cause and effect, right? which states that we must take action in order to create results or to manifest things into our life. So manifestation is not just thinking positive thoughts. We're only doing that to raise our vibration that helps us to take action in the world, right? So manifestation is a combination of the way that we think, it's the way that we feel, and it's the way that we act, right? So what we believe and what we think most often, the feelings that we're embodying, and the actions that we take from those feelings are what create our manifestations or our results or our creations, right? So you have to have all three. You can't just have one. You can't just think your way there. You also can't just act your way there. That's why a lot of times you'll notice if you only try to take action, but you're not doing the thought work and not doing the energy work or the feelings work, that you can take actions, but they don't lead to a lot, right? And that's why I've noticed, even for me, like I have done 2 different launches, for example, where I'm taking the same actions, I'm sending the same emails, I have the same strategy, but the way that I'm thinking and feeling is different in each of them, which is why I get 2 completely different results, even though I'm taking the same action and have the same strategy, right? So it really is, manifestation is a combination of thoughts, feelings, and actions. But the misconception is that action has nothing to do with manifestation. And that is a total lie. And I would never teach that to anyone, right? So here's the thing, we're all manifesting all the time. Why are we all manifesting all the time? Because no matter what, whether you're conscious of it or not, you are thinking, you are believing, you have certain feelings that are driving certain actions, and you're always creating results in your life, right? So which that means you're always manifesting. But the work that we're doing here on the podcast and the work that I do with my clients is I help them do it intentionally so that you're doing it in a way that creates the life you really want, right? Where it feels in alignment with your dreams. So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of action when it comes to manifesting and how we can use it intentionally in a way where we do create the results that we want. So the first thing that I want to mention is action can really lead to clarity, right? That's what's really great is if you are trying to get clear on something and you're trying to figure out, do I go this route or what's the decision that I make? It's going to be really hard to make a decision when you're just sitting there, right? Whenever you're not taking action, right? Action actually leads to clarity. And sometimes it's like you take action and then it leads you, oh, that wasn't the right one, but let me redirect. I heard someone say once, you can't steer a parked car, right? And a lot of times we try to make decisions or we try to manifest with a parked car. It just doesn't work. If you want to get moving, then you can steer, right? So that is super helpful in terms of manifesting, is just start taking action because it will help you gain more clarity. It will also help you gain more confidence. So if there's something that you want to feel more confident at, don't wait for confidence to come crashing down on you or to just start embodying confidence. It doesn't work like that. We actually get confident when we do something over and over and over, and we get good at it by doing, which means that we have to take action, starting feeling maybe wobbly at it, feeling like we're not very good at it. But the way to get confident is let yourself go through that period where you're not very good at it until you get to the place where you are good at it and you are confident. So that's one thing that I love about action when it comes to manifesting is it really, when we take action, we gain confidence, we gain clarity. For me, it also in many ways helps me with belief, right? Because if there is a new belief that I'm trying to embody or a new thought that I want to think about myself, doing thought work is helpful. Doing mantras, great. But I actually find if I pair that with actions, it helps me embody belief better. So I always think, what is it that I want to believe? Maybe it's that I'm $1 million earner, I'm $100,000 earner, or that I'm a really great coach. These are all thoughts that I have practiced through the years, right? And one of the things that helps me embody that belief is I think, okay, well, who is the version of me who is $1 million coach? How would they act? How would they show up today? How would that version of me think about this decision? What would they do here? How would they dress, right? What would their morning routine look like? And I start acting in alignment with the belief that I'm trying to embody and taking action towards that as if I'm already that person. It accelerates the process of believing, right? It accelerates the amount of time it takes to embody a belief. So they really go hand in hand. And I do that work. And if I'm not in belief, what I will do is sometimes I'll just start taking action, right? As if I did believe until I do. And eventually they come together. Now, I don't want to say, or I don't want this to be mistaken for hustling or anything like that, where you're taking action out of misbelief, trying to believe, trying to, take action to start finding your worth or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing this in a way that's intentional, where you say, hey, this is my highest self believes this. I'm not fully there yet. How would I be if I did believe that? How would I show up? It's not acting from self-doubt, it's acting from intention. So I just want to say that, because I think when we hustle for results and we only act, that's out of a place of misbelief. That's out of a place of, once I have the thing, I'm going to feel so much better. And that's not effective. I've done that too. So I just want to Hi, friend. Let me ask you something. Are you ready to up level your money mindset and really release the things that have been holding you back? Release your limitations and your money blocks and that self-doubt and imposter syndrome that's been coming up for you, that's getting in the way of creating more abundance and more impact in your business. If so, I have the perfect opportunity for you that you're going to absolutely love. So mark your calendars for September 20th and 21st, because I am hosting my first ever abundance retreat live in San Diego, California. So we're going to come together and we are going to do the inner and outer work to create more abundance in your life. And I absolutely cannot wait for this. So picture it, me, you, and a group of soulful entrepreneurs coming together, doing a combination of coaching and other fun activities that are going to help you shift your energy and shift your money mindset in a massive way. My past retreat participants have said things like, I feel like I got 6 months of coaching in 2 days, because it's an immersive and a transformational experience. And it's so much fun. The people who come to these are amazing, and there's so much connection and networking that happens. And I just want to invite you in. And right now we have our early bird discount. So you can get some money off. All you have to do is go to the show notes and register. And I will see you in San Diego in September. It's going to be so much fun. Share that to say those are two different things. So can you see the difference? One is doing it with intention. One of them's doing it with misbelief and, trying to earn our self-worth. Two different ways of taking action. One of them leads to amazing results. One does not. One of them leaves us very depleted. Okay, so if you are in a slump, if you feel like you are in a funk, if you feel like you are at a plateau, you've kind of been creating the same results over and over, haven't broken through, one of the best things you can do is to take courageous action, right? It means get out of your comfort zone. This is the number one thing that I will share with people who are at a plateau is what is it? I'll say, what is it that you know you could do, or your intuition has been maybe nudging you to do, or you've had an idea, but you keep stopping yourself from doing it? What is it that you keep having the idea of, but you keep running back into the cave and kind of staying right where you are, staying right in your comfort zone? Identify what that is, right? Maybe it's hiring a coach. Maybe it's waking up a bit earlier and doing your meditation and doing your self-coaching, or working out. That's going to help your energy, but you've been avoiding it. It's like, what's the thing you've been avoiding, right? Whatever it is, if you start courageously taking action on that thing, you will notice a big difference, and it will help you get out of a slump. We're in a slump usually when we're trying to stay in our comfort zone, when we don't want to stretch ourselves. So the way to get out of a slump is to stretch yourself, is to take some action, some new and different action. And that will be so, so helpful. So that's a great way to use action to manifest. And I just want to share, like, for every big thing I've ever manifested and consciously manifested, I have had to do this. I have had to take courageous and inspired action. So I've had to listen to my intuition that's guiding me and actually act on it. Not let my primitive brain say, oh, not now, let's do it later, right? No excuses. I've had to just go for it. And that's when I will finally get results. So for example, a couple of things that I manifested, I'm going to tell you how that showed up with action. So number one, the biggest thing and first thing that I it wasn't the first. There was, in terms of consciously manifesting, I would say actually the first big conscious manifestation was moving out to LA, right? And that was scary, right? It meant that I was leaving my whole family behind. I had saved up for 1 year working retail. I had $6,000 in a car, and that was it. Drove out to LA. It took a lot of courage because you're moving so much into the unknown. I didn't even know if I had a job or not. I was trying to transfer my job from St. Louis to Los Angeles. But at that time, they didn't tell me, they didn't confirm for sure if it was going to be transfer. So I just remember I felt like I was driving into the unknown. It was exciting, but it was really scary because I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't know really anything about the city. I didn't know anyone there. But I knew I wanted to move there. I knew I wanted to go out and create a new life for myself where I was a makeup artist. I knew I wanted to go to school for that. So I literally just had to take the leap with so much unknown on the other side, with so many people in my ear telling me like, oh, you'll be back in 3 months. You'll never make it out there. And that wasn't my parents. That was, just other voices that I had heard of people saying, oh, it's so expensive, maybe you'll be back. And I just chose not to listen to those voices and just to go for it and to try it. And it was like, worst case scenario, okay, I have to move back, but at least I tried. And I have to say it was the best decision I ever made. It's what led me to my life now, to my husband, to my beautiful home, to the experiences that I've had over these past almost 14 years now. So that was a huge leap of faith, and it took a lot of courage. It took action. I had to get into my car. I couldn't just visualize living in LA. But what's actually really cool about it is that before I moved, I was using visualization as a process. And I was reading all of these personal development books and Wayne Dyer, and I would do the practices in the books, and I would write out the visual of what I wanted to manifest in LA. And I would always say, I want a house that's overlooking the city. I want to have a beautiful balcony that I drink coffee on, and I'm looking out at the city. And within 1 year, I realized, holy cow, this was the vision that I had, right? I had like I'm telling you, divine circumstances just aligned where it allowed me to move into this house in the Hollywood Hills for $500 a month with a couple of roommates. And I will tell you what, it was the exact vision that I had. So pairing visualization and pairing this work where we use our mind and we use our imagination to claim what it is we want and kind of paint the picture of that, plus taking the courageous action is how we manifest, right? I had to actually act on it. I had to move out there. I had to get over my fears. And that's how we do it. Also, whenever like for example, one of the other manifestations was healing my relationship with my body. I think of that as one of the biggest manifestations because it was something I struggled with for so long. And it was one of those things that I felt like, I don't know if I'll ever get to the other side of this. It felt like it had been going on and I had tried to approach it for so long that I was almost not in belief that I could, but I was still dedicated to it, right? And what I had to actually do in order to make that happen was I had to take courageous action. I hired a body image coach, right? And I didn't know if it was going to be helpful, but I invested in it when I barely had any money. I was working retail, but I was like, I really want to create a different relationship with my body. I don't want to feel the way that I feel. And on top of that, not only did I invest in the coach, which was scary, but I also had to do a bunch of scary things to get over my fear, right? Things like wearing a swimsuit in front of people, getting a photo shoot done, right? All the things. She basically had me do everything that I was holding myself back from. She was like, we need to do that now. Buying a whole new wardrobe and a body that I didn't love, but still just like deciding I wasn't going to wait till I was thin to buy new clothes. So I had to take all of these scary, courageous actions before I felt ready, putting myself on video, showing up, taking pictures. All of these things is actually what helped me heal it. And it was through action. I wasn't just visualizing myself loving my body. It was a piece of it. Then I had to act and I had to take courageous action and do things that I was really scared of. And that is the key to manifesting. Do the thing you are afraid of doing. And I am telling you, I can go on and on and on with stories of things that I have manifested and how I've had to really overcome fear in order to do it, because that is truly the key that no one talks about, right? It's like you have to realize your fear, recognize that it's there, but not let it keep holding you back, not letting it keep taking you backwards or keeping you in your comfort zone. The way to manifest is to recognize the fear, love on that fear, and take action anyways. That is why we call it courageous action. It is 1000% the key to manifesting. If you are not manifesting the things that you want in your life, you have to get out of your comfort zone. And I say this almost on every challenge that I do, that if you are not working with your fear, if you're just listening to those voices inside that say, no, let's wait, let's do it another time, not right now, those voices are going to hold you back from manifesting. You have to overcome them and recognize that they are just fear, false evidence appearing real. I don't know who I heard this from. I would love to credit them, but I love this idea of that's what fear is. False evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's trying to keep you in your comfort zone, but that's going to hold you back from thriving. That's what's going to hold you back from manifesting your dream life. All right. So I could go on and on of the scary things that I've done, but I think that's when I started having quantum leaps, was when I stopped letting fear hold me back and I just took action. I did the thing even though I was scared. I did the thing even though I didn't feel ready. And every time I do that, I learn and I grow and I expand and I create. And that is my message for you, right? Is if you're doing your belief work, amazing. But don't forget to take massive action. And I don't mean massive action in terms of hustling. Actually, let me say this again. Take courageous action, We hear massive action a lot, but I think that can be tricky and kind of a sticky word because I think sometimes we take action in a hustly way, and that's not what I'm talking about. Take courageous and inspired action. And it doesn't mean you have to go, 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 go. It's like, no, what is the one thing right now that you're scared to do, that you're not taking the leap? Do that one thing, right? Like, for example, when I moved to LA, it was the one thing. It was getting in my car and driving to LA and claiming that I was living here. It doesn't mean I was hustling, right? You don't have to actually hustle to create big things. You just have to get over the fear of the one big next step, the one next inspired step. That's it. That is it. And I'm telling you, you will manifest the most beautiful things in your life. If you change your relationship with fear, learn to love on it, learn to identify it, learn to hold space for it, and take action. That's the key to manifesting, and you will absolutely do it. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this helps clear up any myths that where you're thinking that manifestation is just this magical thing that you don't have to act on. Not true, right? We're all creators and we all have to think intentionally, cultivate feelings on purpose, cultivate energy on purpose with intention, and we have to act on purpose with intention. And that is how we become conscious creators. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this episode is something that you'll be able to add to your manifestation toolbox to come back to when you need a little extra motivation. If you like what you've heard today and want to take it deeper, you've got to come check out my signature coaching program, the Money Manifestation Movement. It's the place where you'll not only learn manifestation, but you'll begin to live it alongside me and an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs doing this work together. Head on over to jamieberman.com to learn more.